Yeah.
Between two surfaces which are in contact, ma'am.
Yeah, friction occurs between two surfaces which are in contact, and there is one more condition, Ramya. Tell me, there is one more condition, right?
It opposes motion, ma'am.
Yeah, it opposes motion. As Siddhir was saying, it depends on how hard the objects are in contact with each other. That is how hard they are pressed together. So I have given you some homeworks, right? Do you remember? Did you finish that homework?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, then let me share my screen and we can discuss that. So what was the homework question?
Give two examples for friction from our daily life.
Yeah, that is the first question. What about the second one? One more question was there.
When we apply brakes, the vehicle slows down and gradually stops. Why
Yeah.
it is so? Justify your answer.
Yeah, so did you get that answer? So let's discuss the second question first, right? And then we'll go to the first one. It was a simple question. So when we apply brakes, the vehicle slows down and gradually stops. Why is it so? So I'd like to ask. Yeah, I'll ask. Let me ask. Sunila Sakula, were you there in the last class? Sunila?
No, ma'am, she is not there from the last class. She is joined now.
Okay, so Sunila, let me tell you what we were discussing in the last class. We were discussing about friction. So friction is a force which opposes motion between any two surfaces which are in contact. Okay, and it depends on two things. That is nature of the surface. If the surface is hard, if the surface is rough, then the force of friction will be more, and if the surface is smooth, then the friction will be very less. And another factor depending on friction, affecting friction, is how hard two surfaces are pressed together. So I'll just go back to that so that you will also understand what we were discussing. Yeah. So here, we were having a box on a table and we tried to push this box. So then after some time the box stopped. So friction is the force which was acting there. So friction depends on the irregularities on the surfaces. However smooth a surface may be, there will be small minute irregularities in that surface. So when the surfaces lock together, then friction acts. So this is how friction acts. So when the surface is rougher, the irregularities will be more and hence the friction will be more. And suppose that if I am pressing this box down, then to move the box I need more force. Why? Because friction is greater there. So friction depends on two things: the nature of the surface and how hard the surfaces are in contact or pressed together. So we saw we did some activity and then we saw the simulations, fit simulation also, and yeah. So we'll move back to our homework. Yeah. So Sudhir, can you answer why when we apply brakes the vehicle slows down and gradually stops? Can you try?
Because the force will act.
Force will act. Which force?
Friction.
Okay, if you are saying friction, can you identify? So you know that friction is a contact force. So can you identify which are the surfaces that are in contact here?
Brake and our leg, ma'am.
Okay, Krishna Kumar, you are saying that no force will be acting.
Road trip, ma'am.
Rod trip. Okay, Varun.
Ma'am, the object will get pressed and it will stop, ma'am.
Okay, where will the object get pressed?
That wheel and road, ma'am.
Wheel and road. Who is answering? Pranati. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
now I got Pranati's answer. I got Krishna Kumar's answer is saying, he's saying that there is no force. Krishna Kumar, can you speak? Can you unmute your audio and tell me why there is no force? So how is the bike then stopping, or how is the vehicle stopping if there is no force?
It will be force, ma'am.
It will be force. Okay, Ishwasida. It will be force. Now, are you agreeing with Pranati? So Pranati just told me, yeah, Pranati and Sudhir. Sudhir also told me this is a frictional force. So is that frictional force? Do you think it is because of frictional force the vehicle is stopping? No? Oh, now Ishwasida is saying it is not due to friction. Then can you tell me why is the vehicle stopping? Why is the vehicle stopping? So suppose you are riding a bicycle and you apply force because you saw some cat is crossing the road, so you don't want to overrun it, so you applied force and your bicycle is stopping. So then how is the bicycle stopping? When you applied brake, what happened?
It will stop.
It will stop, yeah. So how is it stopping?
It will stop the moving tire, ma'am. It will
stop the moving
make
tire.
the tire come to rest.
Yeah, tire will come to rest. So how is that possible? You are applying force on the brake and you are pressing the brake, or if you are in a car, you are pushing, or you are kicking, you are pushing the brake, and then somehow the vehicle is stopping. So yeah. So see, I have a picture of a brake, a hand brake of a bicycle, and there is a picture of, see, this is the wheel and the green is the pedal, that iron bar in bicycles. So when you apply brake, what is actually happening is there is a contact between this brake pad as well as the tire. Can you see this? Can you see it here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, 1 second. One second. So there is a contact between the brake pad and the tire. Yeah. So this is the brake pad and this is the tire. So when you press the brake, then this brake pad will contact the tire. So it stops the motion. So the friction between the brake pad and the tire is causing the bicycles to stop when you press the brake. So that is happening in every vehicle. Okay. So are you following me?
Yes, ma'am.
When you are, yeah. Yes, Pranati?
Nothing, ma'am.
Okay. So I think it's clear for you. So when you are pressing the brake of a vehicle, when you are pressing your bicycle, for example, you will be handling bicycles. So when you are pressing the bicycle brake, the friction between the wheel of the bicycle and the brake pad, there will be a contact between these two and friction arises. Since the wheel is moving, so friction is a force which opposes the motion. So wheel is moving and the brake pad is not moving, but when you apply the brake, this brake pad and the tire, they comes to a contact, there is a contact and the wheel is moving. So there is definitely a frictional force which is opposing the motion. So this frictional force makes the wheel to come to stop. Okay? Is that clear for everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So now, now let's go to the first question. That is to give 2 examples for friction from your daily life. So did everyone get answers for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Walking on a surface is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now Pranati, can you answer through the chat box so that I will get everyone's answer? At least one example just give me. Yeah, I'll ask Krishna Kumar, can you give me one example? Others, please answer through the chat box. Give me one example where you see frictional force is acting. Krishna Kumar? Sirishma, can you? Yeah, I'm getting one answer. Yeah, applying brake. Yeah, that I just told you how that is working, right? Okay, rubbing both hands together to create heat, drinking water. Okay, Kusuma drinking water. Ashwasida, one boy slips on a banana. Yeah, banana cover. Okay, banana peel. Yeah, then. Yeah, quickly give your answers. Walking on the surface because it is impossible to walk on surface without friction. Riding bicycle on sand. Okay. Sliding across snow or ice. Yeah. See, I should get some 15 answers, 15 different answers right now. Yeah, quickly give your answers. Yeah, Mokshada is sliding over across snow or ice. Okay. Walking on wet floor. Yeah. Yes. So everyone answered. Srilata, I didn't see your answer. Nandu. Kannaji Nandakumar. Yeah. Give me your answers. Slipping on ice. Yes, Ramya. Yeah. So I'm getting so many answers. We will discuss all this now. So tell me, is friction a good thing or a bad thing?
Good thing, ma'am.
Good thing.
Yeah, I need everyone's answer through chat box. We are going to discuss that. Is friction a good thing or a bad thing? Okay, answer through the chat box. Answer through the chat box. Yeah, I'm getting good thing, yeah, good thing. I should get all 20 answers now. So if you don't give me answer, I won't continue. So give me the answer, give me your opinion about that. Okay, so many people are saying good thing and Sharon is saying bad thing. Okay, is everyone supporting good thing? Yeah, good thing. Okay, so everyone is saying, because suddenly if we want to stop a car while when someone is walking, we need to stop
Ma'am,
the car.
sometimes it can become bad, ma'am.
Okay, so sometimes it can be, yeah, Pranati is saying, yeah. So are you standing with the good part or are you standing with those who are saying it is a bad thing? Tell me, Pranati. Sometime bad. Yeah, Krishna Kumar is also saying.
Because without friction, every object will be slided off, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So where is your standing? Is it in between? It's good and bad thing. That's your answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. In today's class we will discuss if friction is a good thing or a bad thing or it is both. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting so many answers. You are so clever. Okay. So let me ask you one thing. So why does a matchstick catches fire when you strike it? So you usually use this. See this, right? When you are trying to lit a candle, you need to strike a matchstick. So when you take a matchstick and when you strike it off on the cover, the stick catches fire. Why is it? Yeah,
When we rub that matchstick in that uneven
At that
surface,
place,
it
heat
will
will
be
one second, I'm not hearing you two people. So who was like Pranati, I'll ask you later. So Varun was saying something. Varun, can you try? I'll
Yes,
come to you,
ma'am.
Pranati, okay?
Yes, ma'am. If we rub a matchstick at that place, heat will be produced.
Okay, heat will be produced. So heat is causing the matchstick.
Force has to applied.
Okay, force has to be applied. Yeah, when you strike a matchstick, you need to apply force. That is muscular force. We discussed all that in last chapter, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now Varun is saying that when you strike a matchstick, then some heat is produced, and because of this heat, it catches fire. Okay. Now Pranati, can you continue your answer?
Yes, ma'am. Scratching that matchstick head
Yeah.
to the strip will leads to friction, ma'am, so that the matchstick will light.
Yeah. So Pranati is telling me it will create some friction there. Okay. Is anyone agreeing with her? So tell me if anyone is agreeing with her, Pranati. So it's creating friction, Pranati is saying. Sunila, what do you think? Okay, she is a newcomer. Okay, let's leave her then. What about Mokshita? Yeah.
I'll agree, ma'am.
You are agreeing with whom, Mokshita? With Pranati or Varun? Varun, yeah, Sirishma. Yes, ma'am, both friction and force. Okay. So let's see. Today we will see why does a matchstick catches fire. We will check whether Pranati's answer is correct. Okay. Now the next question is, why is your shoes worn out in the long run? You have seen, like after using for maybe 6 months or 1 year, your sole of the shoe is the part where, see, the bottom of the shoes or bottom of your chappal, there will be some tears there. When friction is a force. Yes, Karanadi, it is correct. Friction is also a force. Yeah, no, she was telling me it's due to friction and force, I think. Yeah, some other force maybe. Okay, now, so do you understand why my question? Why is your shoe tearing up after you use for a long time? So, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay, Sirishma, you don't need to chat. Like, you people, please answer through chat box and please don't chat in that. Because we walk on road, okay, Krishna Kumar? Okay, so, but it happens in the long run only, right? It does not happen when you use it for the first time. It depends on surface and friction. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So, why is your shoes wearing out? Okay, Harshavardhan, can you give me your opinion? When we walk on road long time, the friction will be acting more. Okay, Pranati is sticking to friction. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see if that is true. So now, so I got so many answers in the beginning. It's a bad thing, it's a good thing. Yeah, Charan was saying friction is a bad thing. So all others were saying friction is a good thing. Okay. Now Charan, let me ask you. Charan, you there? Charan, can you unmute?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Charan. So you told me it's a bad thing. Can you give me an example why you are saying it is a bad thing?
Because if we fall by slipping on a banana peel means we'll fall and we'll get pain.
Yeah, so we will fall down if, yeah, why are we falling down? We discussed that in the last class. So, why are we falling down? Why are we slipping?
We will fall down when there is no friction, ma'am.
Okay, when there is no friction or when there is lesser friction. When the friction is less,
friction, ma'am.
yeah, so we are falling down when there is less friction, right? So now tell me, is it a bad thing or is it a good thing? If friction is more, you won't fall down, okay, right? So you won't fall down if friction is more?
But sometimes we'll fall down that's way.
Okay, sometimes you fall down. So tell me, so you are sticking to it is bad thing. Okay, yesterday we also discussed something else. Friction, when you are writing, so will you be able to write if there is no friction?
No, ma'am.
No? So if there is no friction, you won't be able to write. All are agreeing to that? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now tell me, Charan, do you think friction is a bad thing? If there was no friction, you won't be able to write.
No, ma'am, but in some cases it will be bad. No, that's way.
Yeah, so some cases you are telling it will be bad thing. So you have agreed in some cases it is a good thing, right?
But we fall down, pain is more now. But
Yeah, so you are still in that falling down. Okay, but we fall down when friction is less actually. So when friction is more, we won't fall down. Okay, I will come to you, Varun, by the, sorry, Charan. By this end of this class, we will come to a conclusion if it is a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, I will come back to you. So all are agreeing that we won't be able to write if there is no friction. Now, friction is advantageous when we are writing. When we are writing, what is happening? So suppose you are writing on a paper. So you are writing. So I am writing ABC. So why is it? Why can you see that words in this on the book where you are writing? It is because there are irregularities in the notebook and there are irregularities in the pen you are or pencil you are holding, and the lead of the pencil gets stuck in those minute irregularities, and due to friction we are able to write, right? So similarly,
Yes, ma'am.
when you use a eraser and rub what you have drawn or what you have wrote there, what happens is that, so when you rub, the frictional force, the irregularities in the both the rubber, the eraser as well as the notebook or the page, they will get rubbed together and then there is a motion. So when you rub when you want to rub something, you are moving the eraser, right? So you are moving the eraser and then the irregularities in the both surfaces comes into contact and there is a motion, so frictional force is acting, and this frictional force is allowing you to erase that off, rub that off, right? So when you yeah, I'll come to that then. Now when you in kitchen, so you see this glass tumblers, right, where you will be using for drinking water or cup of coffee. So you will be having these cups. So if you want to hold a cup in your hand, so why is it not falling down? So suppose your hand is kind of oily, so you are working in the kitchen or you just touched oil and then you try to pick up a glass. So what happens? What do you think will happen?
Man.
Sorry, I didn't hear. It will?
Fall downs.
It will fall down. So is everyone feeling that it will fall down if you have some
Yes,
oil
ma'am.
in your hand and you are trying to hold something?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now tell me the reason behind that. Why is it falling down?
The irregularities will fill up with oil, ma'am.
Yeah.
So that we cannot
And,
catch the cup.
At that time, the surface will be smooth and friction will be less, ma'am.
Yeah, your answer is correct. You are excellent children. So when you are holding a cup, you have a grip. So when there is oil, there is no grip. So there is no friction. So the surface is very smooth. There is no irregularities at all. So then what happens? It slips. It's very easy to fall down. So that's why it's falling down. So if there is no friction, what happens? You won't be able to hold a cup. You won't be able to take a book from the table. You won't be able to push a thing. So friction is good. Okay. So I am now saying friction is good. But yeah, we will see. Now suppose you are going to fix a nail on on the wall so that you can hang a picture. So you need to take an iron nail as well as a hammer to fix a picture on the wall. right? So then if there is
Yes,
no
ma'am.
friction, what happens? You won't be able to pick up these two things, the nail as well as the hammer, to strike it into the wall. And similarly, you won't be able to strike it because you won't be able to hold it at all, and you won't be able to give that motion there. So now tell me, is friction a good thing or is it a bad thing?
Yes, ma'am. Good
Good
thinking, ma'am.
thing, ma'am.
So everyone is telling me it is a good thing now, right? Walking, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I didn't see the chat box. It will become old. Okay, it depends on surface. When we walk on rod long time. Okay, force of friction. Okay, please avoid using these emojis in the chat box, children. Walking, what is that, Krishna? Okay, I lost that. Okay. Now, let's see. Suppose there is no friction. What will happen to a moving object? What can we do?
Ma'am, it won't stop, ma'am.
It won't stop. Now, is that okay? Sirishma is saying it is not stopping. So let me ask Sudhir, what will happen to the moving object if there is no friction? Will we okay?
Ma'am, Kotla Sudhir left.
Okay, he left. What happened? Okay, now Satyanarayana, can you try? What will happen if there is no friction and an object is moving? So can you stop it? Can you stop it? What do you think?
We can't stop it, ma'am.
We can't stop it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now
it will-
Pranati and Sirishma are answering, right? Okay, now let me ask Kusuma. What do you think, Kusuma? Yeah, I'm getting answer in the chat box also. We can't stop. Okay, Satyanarayana. Kusuma, what do you think?
Ma'am, we can't stop.
Yeah, we can't stop because if there is no friction, there is nothing to stop the motion, nothing which is opposing the motion, then how can we stop that, right? Yes, you are correct. If we can't stop, we won't be able to stop. So, if there is no friction between the tires of automobiles, that is in vehicles, they could not be started or stopped or turned to change the direction of motion. So, in all these cases, you are able to start a vehicle, able to stop a vehicle, able to change the direction, able to give acceleration. All this is due to frictional force. Okay. So now we have seen that friction is a good thing, right? So now everyone is agreeing with me that it is a good thing. Now tell me, why is your shoes worn out in the long run?
Ma'am.
Yeah, I have seen your answers. So okay, when we walk on road long time, the friction will be acting more. Yeah, Pranati is saying it's because of friction. Okay, then because we walk on road. Okay, Krishna Kumar, can you tell me, why is your shoes worn out in the long run? It depends on surface and friction. Okay, Pranati, so you are telling me when we are using a shoes in the long run, it is tearing up because it is due to friction is acting. So can you tell me, can you explain why, where friction is acting? So if friction is a contact force, tell me the surfaces which are in contact there.
The shoes and the surface, ma'am.
Shoes and this, which surface? So you are walking on a road, suppose you are walking on a road, then? Yes, Charan?
Those are rough road, ma'am.
Rough road. Okay, I am giving you a situation. So you are always walking on a tarred road, okay, a road where vehicles are moving. Okay, you are using your shoes only for walking in that road. Okay, now tell me, it is wearing out. Why? Shoe and road. Okay, surfaces. Yeah.
Because the irregularities will be more, ma'am.
Yeah, irregularities will be more. So now Pranati actually told me it is because of friction. So,
Yes, ma'am.
so why is friction acting there? Why do you think friction is
The
acting? Yeah.
The irregularities of shoes and the surface will act, ma'am. So after a long time, the shoes will get worn off, ma'am.
Yeah, so why is friction acting? Friction is a force which is opposing motion. So when you are trying to walk, there is a motion, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you are walking and there is a motion, and then what happens? There is a force which is opposing this motion, and that acts between your shoe sole, the bottom part of the shoe, and the road. So that force is friction, and after a long run, this friction, when you are walking and walking and walking, your shoes tore out because of friction. It's correct, Pranati, it is due to friction. So similarly, have you seen like in machines there are ball bearings, so like round things. So they use that because they want to reduce friction. So similarly to our shoes, what happens? To our shoes, they will wear out after a long time, after we use it for a long time. So in machines, if that happens, we won't be able to work that machine. It will stop working at all. So it will be a huge loss to us. So then in screws, wherever we use screws, we will put a ball bearing, a small round thing. So I will show you the pic in the next class. So in that, I will show you an animation also in that. So in that, what happens is, it reduces friction. So now in this case, in the case of your shoe sole, tell me if friction is a good thing or a bad thing. In this case, tell me, is it
Bad thing, ma'am.
okay, bad thing? Now I think I got Sudhir's answer only. What about Nandu?
Pranati, ma'am.
Okay, Pranati, sorry Pranati. Yeah, Sudhir, tell me, is that a good thing or bad thing now?
Bad thing.
Bad thing, okay. Kusuma, what do you think? Okay, I'm getting answers. Bad thing, Ramya, yeah. Varun, your answer?
Bad thing, ma'am.
Bad thing. So now in this occasion you are telling me it's a bad thing. Okay. So friction in the first cases I told you, there you agreed with me that it is a good thing. So now you are telling me that it is a bad thing. Now let's come to a conclusion that friction can be both good and bad. So if there is no friction, it's very, like, our whole life will be very difficult. Correct? You won't be able to walk, you won't be able to write, you won't be able to grab a thing, you won't be able to pick up, you won't be able to do anything at all. So if you start walking, then you can't stop, and to start walking also you need friction. So if something is moving, it has to continuously move, there is no friction, right? So friction can be a good thing and friction can be a bad thing, because friction, it is due to friction our shoe soles are getting worn out. So our shoes are getting destroyed just because of friction. So it can be a bad thing also. And have you seen the tires of vehicles? After using for some time, like after 1 or 2 years, the tires of the vehicles become very smooth, because it similarly to your shoes, it is wearing out. So after some time when you apply brakes, it won't stop. There will be difficulty in stopping the vehicle. So it's due to friction that the tires are also worn out. So now in that case it is becoming a bad thing. So friction can be both good as well as bad. It is a necessary thing, but it can be an evil thing also. Okay, now are you agreeing with me? It is a good as well as bad thing. Now we are going to do an activity. Rub your hands together. Okay, rub your hands together and tell me what you feel.
It will produce heat, ma'am.
Hot, heat, yeah. Okay, Krishna Kumar, what do you feel? Rub your hands and tell me what. Warm. Okay. Sunila, try rubbing your hands and tell me. What are you feeling? Yeah, I'm getting answers. Yeah, it will create heat, it produce heat. Heat is coming. Yeah, Nandu. Yeah?
It will produce heat and dust.
Heat and dust. Okay, your hands, the skin is coming off. Is that what you are saying? You are rubbing too hard?
Yes.
Okay. Now stop rubbing. Otherwise, after, like, your parents will complain about me. I made your hands worn out. Okay then. So I think everyone is agreeing with me. So why are you feeling warm? Why are you feeling that hot feeling, that heat in your hand?
Sometimes friction can also produce heat, ma'am.
Okay, now Pranati is, yeah, yesterday also you told me friction can produce heat. So do you think it is friction's work here?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you rub your hands, it's correct Pranati, when you rub your hands, you are moving your hands. So definitely there is friction which is acting opposite to the motion of your hands, right? And this friction is causing this warmness. So that's why you feel warm when you rub your hands, okay? So can you give me more examples where friction produces heat?
Yes, ma'am. If we rub 2 rocks, the heat will be produced in, ma'am.
Yeah, if you rub 2 rocks, heat will be produced. That's how in ancient times people used to produce fire.
Heat.
Yeah, heat, fire. So during winter time, that very long back, before all the civilization came up, at that time caveman, that is the times when human beings were cave people, at that time.
In Stone Age, ma'am.
Yeah, Stone Age, correct. Oh, yeah, thank you. So during Stone Age, so people used to rub to surfaces, rub to stones to produce a sparkle, and then they used it to produce fire. Okay, Pranati gave me an example. Can you give others? Can you give examples? Matchstick. Yes, matchstick. Good, Krishna Kumar. Good observation.
Thinking of lubricants, ma'am.
Okay, what lubricants? Where is heat produced in lubricants? What is lubricants? Okay, about lubricants we will come in the next class. We will talk about that in the next class. Okay. Yes, Ramya, I will talk about that in the next class. But in this case, lubricants won't be an example. Okay. So now tell me whether the heat produced is in friction, by friction, is always useful or not. Tell me, is this heat produced is useful always? Is it good for us? Tell me. Yeah, I am getting rubbing hands. Okay, is it useful, Krishna Kumar? Okay, Satyanarayana is telling yes. Krishna Kumar is telling yes. Okay. Sudhir, what do you think? Is it a good thing? Yes. Nakamani, Mutilya Nakamani, what do you think? Nandu, what do you think? By rubbing hands we feel good, okay, we feel warm. Pranati, I didn't see your answer. Srilata, I didn't see your answer. Yeah. Sirishma, I didn't get your answer. Yes, Nandu is saying yes. So, yeah. I am getting answers, yes. Yeah, Mokshita is also saying yes. Okay, now in the examples we have seen heat being produced due to friction is a good thing. Now, when you are operating machines, so you can feel that warmth or heat from the machines, right? Have you ever experienced heat from machines?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Where did you see?
While keeping charging for the
If we
laptop.
stand on continuous,
While charging the phone.
Okay, while charging phone
While
and
charging
laptop,
laptop.
it's another, it's not due to friction, it's something else. Okay, I will come to that in maybe in higher classes, not now. Okay, it's not due to friction. So where else can you find friction producing heat? In sometimes look at your kitchen and tell me. Have you seen a mixer grinder?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you switch on the mixer grinder, the jar, it becomes heated up, right? The jar.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you touched it? Now why is it
Yes, ma'am.
becoming hot? It is due to friction. It is due to friction. When you, so there is a wheel kind of thing in the jar, under the jar where you kept the mixer jar, and when you switch on, what happens when you switch on the switch? Then this, yeah, yes Charan. So when you switch on the mixer, the wheel is moving, so then friction is produced there. This friction causes the heating of the mixer grinder. So it is not a good thing there, it's an unwanted thing and it is harmful to your machines. So when a machine is operated, heat generated causes waste of energy. So in especially in mixer grinders, this heating up of the grinder will use up the electricity a lot to cool it up. Okay, so it's a waste, it's an unwanted thing there. Okay, are you getting my point? Sometimes the heat produced is unwanted due to friction, but sometimes it's very good. Like when you are feeling cold, when you rub your hands and you feel that warmth, it's good. So to lit a matchstick, friction is a good thing. Now tell me, is friction as a friend or a foe? Foe means enemy, okay? You know what is a friend. So tell me, is friction a friend or a foe? Tell me. Tell me children. Okay, Sirishma, what do you think? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Is it a friend or a foe? Is it a friend or an enemy? Yeah, answer through the chat box fast. We need to wind up now.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, it depends on that situation, ma'am.
It depends on situation. Yes, Sirishma?
50-50.
Yeah, Sudhir has taken a diplomatic decision. A friend and foe, both. Good, Sudhir? Yeah, he is standing on two words now. Yeah. Okay, what about Srilata, Ramya, Nandu, Pranati? Where is she? Okay, she left. Okay, Charan, what is your answer? Mokshita?
50-50, ma'am.
Yeah, now everyone is standing in two, right? So friction is both a friend and an enemy. It depends on the situations. It could be advantageous thing, it could be a disadvantageous thing. Okay? Yeah, it's good. Now, answer the questions. Friction produces. I'll ask Krishna Kumar. Friction produces? Tell me, Krishna Kumar, what do you think? Heat, yes, good. Yeah, Sudhir is answering, Krishna Kumar is answering. You can answer through the chat box. I'll see your answers. Yeah, Satyanarayana, Nandu, yes. So everyone is telling me friction produces heat. It could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. Some cases, it depends on cases, okay? Now, yeah, we have answered already this one. Is friction a friend or a foe? It could be both. It is both. It's both. It is both, okay? It is a good thing as well as it is a bad thing. Now, give examples to show that friction is a friend and as well as it is an enemy. So, I'll ask this one to Mokshida.
Ma'am,
Yeah, give me an example to tell that friction is a friend.
by friend means rubbing hands, ma'am. It will produce heat.
Yeah, so it will produce heat by rubbing hands. So you are telling it is a good thing. Okay. Now, Nandu, can you give me another example to tell that friction is a good thing? Yeah, Pranadi, it helps us to walk. Yeah, it makes our shoe move out. Okay, Pranadi, you are giving him both. Okay, good. Yeah, Nandu, I didn't see your example for telling that friction is a friend. Okay, Satyanarayana, can you tell me? Can you give me an example? Yeah, Satyanarayana, friend, rubbing hands. Okay. Now, okay, good. Writing on paper. Yes, good, Nandu, writing on paper. Like erasing also comes in that friend category. Erasing, rubbing, gripping is something. Yeah, good, Ramya. Gripping, catching different objects. And now give me an example where you can say that friction is a foe, it is an enemy. Okay, so they're good. Erasing, yeah. Now tell me, give me an example where you can see that friction is an unwanted thing, undesired thing, wasting electricity. Good, Krishna Kumar. Okay, now when you are saying wasting electricity, you need to give the situation also. You can't just say it is wasting electricity, okay? Wasting electricity, yeah, wasting energy you can say. Yeah, it makes our shoes worn out. So, all these are the examples we discussed. Think of something else also, out of the box, yeah. Oh, sorry, Sriraj, like from yesterday I am calling you Krishna Kumar, I am sorry. I'll note down your name, Sriraj, yeah. Yeah, give me examples. Okay, Hema, yeah, Hema, I'll note this down. Yeah, I lost that paper where I note all these names and then, yeah, today I'll do that. Tomorrow's class I'll call your proper names. So, now you identified that friction is a necessary thing, but it can be an evil sometimes. So, we can say that friction is a necessary evil, or friction is a friend and a foe. Friction can be a friend as well as a foe. Now, your home assignment. So, imagine that friction suddenly vanishes. Now, how would our life be? So, list 10 such situations where there is no friction. Now, list all the things you won't be able to do. Okay? Srishma, can you read? Can you read this assignment question? Yeah.
Imagine that friction suddenly vanishes. How would life be affected? List 10 such situations.
Yes. Now, will you be able to list some situations like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then give your answers through WhatsApp, okay? Give it. I'll check, I'll see your answers. See, I was getting so many answers in the chat box about like frictional force examples where you can see frictional force, so many good answers, out of the box things. So, I'll be expecting some amazing answers for this one, okay? So, tomorrow we will discuss this. What happens when friction suddenly vanishes, what all things will happen, what all things we may not be able to do, okay? Okay, is there anyone having any doubt? Is the topic for today is clear? So, we arrived at the conclusion that friction is a necessary evil, or friction is a good thing as well as a bad thing. Yes, Nandini. Yeah. Yeah, Ramya is even giving examples now. Okay, good Ramya. Okay, you can leave the class, children. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye bye. Good night, children.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night. You can leave the class, children. Okay. Bye bye. See you in the next class.